Okay,
Or
your
leaning into it.
second most. What's your last thing you need on this tour?
Oh, well, hey everybody's Chad from the band Switchfoot, and you're watching Bandkind. All right.
Chad,
Hey, how's your day going?
good. And yours?
Yeah, it's great. Here in San Diego today. It's beautiful.
Woo, don't want to hear it. Yeah, I do want to hear it actually. Hey, it's Nick with Bandkind, and I'm here with Chad from Switchfoot. Chad, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So excited. I've listened to your project. I love it. I would say that your fans would say, "What's next? What's next?"
Oh, that's cool. You're too kind.
You do have some fired up fans that have been with you for a very long time. I love the title of it, first of all. You guys must have wrestled through dozens of titles before you settled on that one. So I got to hear that. But I want to talk to you about how different it was for you, um, just in the percussion of a Christmas project. Did you feel like that was more constraining or more freedom?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, musically, this album, you know, being a California band, we really leaned into sort of the heritage of the Beach Boys and sort of the 60s production, you know, a little more space in the songs just to fit the vibe and make it our own. You know, being from San Diego, Christmas tree on the beach is our tradition. You know, we go put the ornaments on and take a photo in front of the sunset on the beach. And you know, we wanted to kind of capture that feeling. So musically, you know, we really tried to approach it different and not make it just a traditional Switchfoot record, but to take it somewhere new.
And I love what you do with your fans, how you had everybody sort of submit ideas, and you end up with this portion of a drawing of a submission, and then you guys take it from that art to the actual beach to a photo shoot. How fun was that?
Oh, it was great. Our bass player Tim went down to the beach at sunrise, like 5 in the morning, with John's Christmas tree, which he had left over in February. So they went down, took John's old Christmas tree, which was still green, by the way. He left it outside in his backyard, and I guess the rain kept it alive. But they went and they took that tree down to the beach, and you know, he set it up, and Tim was in his wetsuit, you know, because the water's cold in February here in San Diego, and they were wrestling this tree, taking the photos for the album, thinking, you know, it'll probably be standing in the water and look cool. And we got those shots, but then at the end it fell over, and our photographer took a shot of the tree just laying on its side, and we all loved that, just the imagery of, you know, sort of this imperfect Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Was that Eric Frost that took that
Yeah,
picture?
yeah.
He's a phenomenal photographer. Everything that I feel like he's captured of Switchfoot, I mean, the art is in your music, and you guys do such a great job.
Yeah, Eric is really talented. We're really thankful for him.
He captures that art in film or digital pictures, but the
Yeah.
art that you guys bring in your music, I know, is painstaking, and it's appreciated by so many people.
Oh, thank you. Well, we feel like, you know, it's not lost on us that this is a gift to be a band this long. You know, we're celebrating 25 years this year, and to be able to
Unbelievable.
put out a project that we've been talking about for years to make a Christmas record. Yeah, it's a real privilege, and we're thankful.
Awesome. I gotta wipe some tears away. Sorry. Edit.
No
Woo!
problem.
I am so excited to see you guys do some of your Interrobang music in your upcoming tour. Are you going to do some Christmas mixed with some old
Yeah,
favorites too?
yeah. This tour is going to be really fun. It's just us. There's no opening act. We're going to do 2 sets. The first set will be more stripped down acoustic, and it'll be, like you said, a mix of Christmas songs with some of our older stuff, and Interrobang, which came out last year. So yeah, it'll be really fun for us. We're starting rehearsals and working out all the arrangements, And then the second set will be more of the rock instrumentation with, electric guitars and drums. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun for us. We're looking forward to this, probably more than any tour we've ever done.
Wow. And you've done some amazing thematic tours. This is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we're leaning in a little bit more to the theatrical elements, bringing out the stage props. And, for Christmas, you got to kind of roll out the red carpet and make it fun.
You do. I love that. The last time I saw you guys out on the road, it was so great. Jon and Tim had said to me, "Do you want a tour of the stage?" And I have been in the industry just a couple years longer than you guys, and I don't believe that I've ever had anyone ask me if I want to tour the stage. And so, of course, I was like very intrigued. So Jon led the charge, and we went through each section, and he talked about different things and showed the different pieces that you were going to be using for percussion, and so I feel like this theatrical piece has been kind of brewing in you guys for a while.
Yeah, well, I think we enjoy the live show so much. I mean, the last couple of years having that been taken away, and the live streams we do are really fun, and it's a cool online community that comes together, but there's nothing like having humans in the same room singing the same songs. And so we just want to lean into that and just, appreciate the live element and just the gift that concerts are. And
Yes.
For this being a special season, that means a lot to us, Christmas being my favorite time of the year.
Really?
We're all in. We just want to lean in and just make this a very memorable moment for everybody.
Oh, it will be because you guys do it up naturally. Like, I feel like you always have, you know, been in your own lane, just running full throttle, and you've been doing that a long time. Keeping up that momentum and growing your fan base, I mean, it's been a lifetime achievement for what you guys have done. Not to mention that you're multi-platinum and you've won all these awards. Just you have to feel some reward at a quarter of a century here of doing this thing that you're making a difference.
Wow. Well, yeah, those things are all amazing gifts. I think the most important thing is communicating hope. That's been, our motto as a band for years is hope deserves an anthem. And that's
Mm,
what excites us to go on the road and to
yeah,
make new music and to lean into the community that we have, the Switchfoot. This is
yeah,
not just about the five guys on stage. This is about people who are connecting with the songs
yeah.
and finding some hope in the music. And I think
Mm,
that's a privilege, to get to serve the community in that way. Every time we
mm.
walk on stage, every time we put out a new album, trying to uplift people, trying to bring hope.
Yeah. Even as you're talking, Hope is the anthem. Your song is, going through my mind. And that's certainly, something that's needed. One thing I've seen, and maybe you've seen it too, Chad, is the live show. The people in the crowd, the audience is embracing it at a new level. Don't you feel like the response is so genuine? Are you seeing that?
I do feel like people are moved by music. I'm moved by music.
Yeah.
Music meant a lot to me growing up. There were moments in time when a certain album or a certain song changed my perspective on my life and
Yes.
carried me through, hard times, dark times. And I feel like music has this incredible ability to bring people together from all walks of life. When I look out at our audience,
Hmm.
it's a very diverse group of people,
Yeah.
different backgrounds, different experiences, different beliefs,
Yeah.
different ethnicities, different ideas that they're bringing to this moment where we get to experience something that unites us. And
Mm.
for me, that is just an honor, and it's hugely fulfilling.
Oh my goodness. You guys have been such a great steward of music and pushing it to the next level since the very, very beginning. I do want to talk about your very, very beginning. So, your dad was a musician, and I am curious why you chose the drums over the guitar. Why you, as a young as a young Chad Butler, why you decided that was the way to go.
Yeah, my dad is still a musician. He's retired now, but when I was a kid, I grew up in a van touring with his band, and sort of music was in my blood. I was surrounded by people that played instruments, and there's pictures of me sitting on his knee playing drums when I was really little. And then when his band broke up, the drummer gave me a drum set. And so we always had drums laying around, and my dad would play along with me on his guitar. And I guess as a maybe an energetic kid looking for an outlet, the drums were more satisfying to me than learning the details of other instruments. I did take piano, and I did learn guitar from my dad, but I just love being able to express yourself in a really loud instrument that is
Yeah.
very physical. So
Yes.
for me, it's sort of this cathartic release to get to play at full volume, to play drums and play it in a band with electric guitars, and at that level of volume, it's moving. It
Yeah.
brings the songs to a new level. I
It
love it.
does. Yeah, it's that drive. We have to have people like you in music, and just the so many different ways. You're talking about that driving right now, but I know on well, there's some driving stuff on the Christmas project too. I was surprised to hear what a Scrappy Little Christmas, is that what it was? Scrappy Little
Little
Christmas
Christmas
has some
tree.
really has some really like throwback Switchfoot vibes to it. But then there's also
Yeah.
some really like soft percussive things that you're doing. What were some of your hacks that you used for this
Hmm.
Christmas album?
Yeah. Well, we've always said the song is king, and so when we go to
Mm,
record, you walk in and you serve the song, to sort of create a frame around the painting, if you will.
yeah,
And
right.
you don't want to allow the production or the different instruments to limit you or limit the song. But
Yeah,
sometimes it's better to leave something out, or hit the mute button. And so that's been my approach as a drummer, as a percussionist, to try to serve the song, whatever it needs, whether it's loud, whether it's quiet. And yeah, instrumentation on this album was fun. There's a lot of sleigh bells.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
some of that orchestral percussion that the Beach Boys and some of the Motown
yes,
records from the 60s and 70s have, leaning
yes.
into that. Some of
Hmm.
my favorite classic music is from that era. My favorite Christmas album is the Charlie Brown Christmas album,
Oh
uh,
gosh,
the Vince Guaraldi trio, and it's jazzy and it's cool and it's laid back and it's
yeah,
not trying too hard. And
right,
yeah, so that
right,
was sort of my approach,
yeah.
as a on this, to just lay back a little bit and enjoy the song.
Yeah, I feel like, there's that staccato factor, but it's also lazy at the same time. I don't know how to describe that. Maybe that's just jazz, but there's that
Yeah.
there's that snappy part of that percussion, but also it just kind of like yeah, it just moves it forward without distracting, I guess, just like what you were saying.
Sure. I mean, I'm no jazz musician at all, but I'm more of a garage rock drummer. So to put my jazz hat on for a minute was really fun.
So
Fake it till you
fun.
make it.
I love it. I love it, Chad. Well, I just heard too that you guys are going to be back at Creation Fest, which is going to be huge. Just playing. I know you play out on the beach. I know you play out on the, in the hills. But I think that's where Switchfoot music belongs. Is just in these beautiful places that have been created by humans or by God. Just I love hearing Switchfoot echo through the hills in Pennsylvania, or just in the theater. And so your music just, it's covered everything since the beginning. I think Hello Hurricane for me feels like the half life of Switchfoot. It feels like maybe that was the time when you were making some decisions about who you were as a band, who you were as individuals. Maybe it was just growing up in general, having spent so many years in music, You don't almost have to have your own identity because you're just falling in. You're just keeping going. It's like you guys rehearsing while you're doing sound check. I mean, it's all happening organically and as fast as possible. So, the Hello Hurricane album, do you feel like that was a transitional project for you guys?
Yeah, I do. That was a real interesting time because we had been on, sort of this really busy trajectory of tour album, for
Yeah.
quite some time at that point. And we decided to come back to San Diego. We'd all started families, we're having kids and being married. And, at that point I had two kids, a third on the way, and we just wanted to be home.
Yeah.
And so we were able to build a studio here in San Diego that would allow us to record here instead of having to go out to, the big cities, LA, New York, Nashville, where all the big studios were.
Right.
So that allowed us to have this freedom. And we took full advantage of it in the studio. And we spent about a year and a half making that record,
Mm.
and recorded dozens and dozens of songs, just sort of flushing out all these ideas. And it allowed us, I think, to be a band for another long season because we slowed down, because we invested time with our families. We're,
Yeah.
sleeping in our own beds and not, on a plane going to some other country. And it was just a good pause for us. And I think those songs that came out of it were really emotional, really honest. Really, I love that record. Yeah, and then we ended up doing a tour where we played that album front to back, and that was a really memorable season,
Wow.
and I think the theme, Hello Hurricane, still is about, singing into the storm. These things, these challenges come at us in life. The only thing we can control is our response. How do you stand up in the middle of, a storm that's raging around you and singing to it? And that's what it represented. And yeah, it was a pivotal point for us. And I think that's one of the reasons we're still a band today.
I love it. You were there at the very, very beginning. How did you meet the brothers?
We met in high school here in San Diego. Water polo is a big sport. Surfing's a big sport. And I knew Jon from water polo. He played on my water polo team in my high school. And then we did surfing contests. We ended up, all three of us, Jon, Tim, and I, went to UCSD and surfed for the surf team in college. And that's when we started making music together. It's a wild thing. I do believe that having an interest outside of music and a connection and a friendship probably really helps our relationships as a band, to sort of have something else that we enjoy doing, so we're not just kind of one-dimensional in our friendships. And I think that's important in a marriage. It's important in any friendship, to find common bonds and things you enjoy doing together.
And I think that goes back to the song being king, and how the intentionality that you put into that relationship. It's not just a one-sided, it's not just you guys putting out music and then letting it be. It's sort of, it goes back to Interrobang, really, it being a question, an exclamation, a statement, all of it wrapped in to one symbol. That's the song is king, really, for me, when I think of Switchfoot.
That's cool. Thanks.
Yeah, it is really cool.
This tour, I think, is going to be hopefully the most, magical thing that we've ever done. You mentioned our friend Eric Frost. He's a very creative person, as a photographer, as a musician. And we have a few people like that on our team, and we've all been just brainstorming in our studio trying to get ready for this tour. How's the stage going to look? What's going to happen between Act 1 and Act 2? And it's just been so fun to dream it up.
When you're doing a live show, the most important thing that you listen to is the vocal. How does that bring your part to play when you're hearing that vocal?
Well, I think it goes back to, communication. I think the reason why I get up in the morning and go to the studio or go get on an airplane to fly to a tour is, communicating hope. It goes back to that purpose. And without the words and the communication, I wouldn't have the motivation to play music, at this level and put in the work. So I think for me, working together to promote the message of the song, the message of hope is what being in this band is all about.
Wow. If you're somebody who really patterns yourself after where that vocal's going, you kind of have to have a front man that's pretty consistent, right? Or not
Yeah, but
necessarily.
well, what's interesting, I think my favorite thing about live music is it's unpredictable, and we don't play to tracks. We don't play the same arrangement of the song every night. Jon will stretch out, a bridge and, take it somewhere new. And as a band, we just react to that. All of us players reacting to each other. And Jon as a frontman is so good at reading the room, knowing the situation. Maybe there's somebody in the audience that's holding up a sign and for a different song, and he'll grab that and we'll medley into that song, So but that's live music. It's fun. Each concert is unique. It'll never happen the same way twice.
Wow. There's the artistry right there. How many of the new songs will you play, do you think?
I think we'll do quite a few, because it's just us. There's no opening act. We can kind of stretch out and enjoy ourselves, and maybe we'll take some requests from the audience. And it's going to be a real memorable night.
I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be such a great tour. And you guys always so creative. Those creative minds that you put around you, have built these live shows. I love it.
Well, it takes a village, we can't take credit for it. We got a lot of very creative people on our team, and our crew out on the road is like family.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. I don't find that hard to believe. I don't. I think you guys are excellent. I think you've always been a very steady voice, not only in the songs that you've put out, but also in your impression in the industry. I think you've been that steady voice, and gosh, it's been a long old time. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you. It's a gift. We're thankful.
What is an essential piece in your kit for this tour?
Sleigh bells.
Oh, that was too easy. Okay, your second most. What's your last thing you need on this tour?
Well, cowbell. You got to have more cowbell, right?
More cowbell.
Never leave the house without it.
I know. Oh, that's hilarious.
Gear up. Get ready. Let's go.
So you're going to go all the way to California. You're going West Coast, East Coast. You guys are going to be on the road.
It's about a three week tour between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's good. Yeah. You're just going to knock it out. Knock it out.
Well, it's just, it's the best time of the year, and what better way to celebrate than to, be able to play some live shows and have a great Christmas moment.
Now, you said that Christmas was one of your favorite times of the year. May I ask why? And can I find out what your favorite Christmas gift has been?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I grew up in a musical home. My dad being a musician, and he loves, sitting around the Christmas tree, playing his guitar. We'll jump on the piano, the drums, whatever, is within reach, and we'll just play Christmas songs all night. And it's, sort of the family tradition that I have the strongest memory of. So, that's kind of why the season is so memorable for me. And as far as a gift goes, I did get a drum set for Christmas on my 13th birthday that I'll never forget. I still have it. And it just, sort of launched me into playing and enjoying playing with other people, being in bands. And, here I am today.
I love that, Chad. That is awesome. Aw, so sweet. I'm excited. Switchfoot.
Me too. Let's go. I think this is going to be an amazing tour, and the new Christmas album is something I'm really excited for people to hear.
Oh my gosh. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. It's going to be so fun. Yes. Thank you so much, Chad.
You bet. Thanks for a great conversation. Good questions. Appreciate it.
That was amazing. I loved it. All right. See you in Reading.
All right. Take care.
Bye.